Hi guys, this is Wenzes from Below the Radar Above the System, and today I want to talk to you about the question, do you want to be part of society? And I think this is a question that follows us all throughout life. We've started with it probably in our teenage years that we realize, okay, there's maybe something that's different. Maybe we realize that all our lives, but then it kind of like really becomes conscious of, you want to have friends, especially like when I was a teenager. I always had this thought and this wish to be part of like this great social group, and I never had that. And when there are people outside who kind of had that, then I wanted to be part of it, not realizing that that is actually a group that didn't give me what I wanted. But this overall question of do you want to be part of society, I think follows us around. And the reason why it follows us around is because we never really answer it. On the one hand, we say, well, no, I don't want to be part of society because this is not a society that I agree with. I don't like the way people think about politics. I don't like the way people think about beauty standards. I don't like the way people think about the way nature develops or whatever it is. Some kind of things that are just so obvious to you in a way and that most people do not see and so on. But the truth is, first off, you never really answered that question for saying, no, I don't want to be part of society. Because if you did that, if you were really completely sure that you do not want to be part of this, you would be one of those people who saves up money for a couple of months, packs up their thing and goes to Costa Rica and becomes like a bartender at a bar, and they can still, you can still do your internet things and whatever. You don't even, like, most of the time, if you really going out of society and you don't want to be part of it, you don't even want to have anything to do with technology. I think a lot of INFJs are very social or very active on the internet. We really like the fact that we can have our space here. We like technology, and I think mainly we like society because we need connection. We're feelers, we're extroverted feelers. There's this sense of connection that we need. And I think since we keep on repeating that question to ourselves and never really answer it, we say, well, on the one hand, no, I don't want to be part of this. This sucks. And on the other hand, we're not that much opposed to it that we would leave. We kind of get stuck in the middle. And that's not even necessary. I think it's necessary to recognize that if you haven't made the active choice of leaving the society and living somewhere which has nothing to do with it, you're actively wanting to be part of society. For what reason or not. It could be a reason of your family lives here. It can be a reason of, I like that I can help develop something and that I see how society develops or so on. I want to be part of, some kind of movement. It does not matter. I even think that if I knew like my family lived in another country, and I wouldn't want to live in that specific country, I still would want to live somewhere where there's other people, where there's a social circle, where things are going, like they are right now. I think that in a lot of ways, this is a conscious choice we're making. Otherwise, as I said, we would just completely leave. There are some things that we know we should be doing, but we don't. Like, for example, that you shouldn't be around toxic people and you still do that. Things like this, actions like this, they can be changed. There's like a logical thought of, okay, I know that I just need to overcome this and then I'll feel better about myself when I let all those toxic people out of my life. But the longer I think about it, I really don't think that people who thrive on so much helping others and contributing something and on connection would be so happy to completely leave everything off. I mean, of course, you can go and live in a little village and there you have connections too. But I think it's really necessary for a lot of us to accept that we do want to be part of this society. And then we can think about how much of the society do we want to be part of and how much can we actually affect. And this is a huge difference because for me, all like the last years, I always had this question. I was in the between phase. I don't want to be part of society, but I don't want to leave either. Okay, so I was stuck there. And then the moment I realized, well, no, I do have needs. I do have interdependence needs. I have some dependency to other people, which is completely natural. And I do need to have some kind of feedback. I need to have some kind of connection with other people. If I was completely isolated, didn't talk to anybody at all, for what reason or whatever, that wouldn't make me happy. And once I realized that, once I really sat down and said, I cannot make it completely on my own. I need to talk to somebody. I need to share my thoughts with somebody. I need to share whatever it is with anybody. And then I realized, okay, if I want to be part of the society, actively making a choice because the alternative is worse, let's say it that way, then you can think about, okay, so this society, what is there that I like about it? What can I accept the way it is? And what am I going to change? And change about society or create my own. Because, for example, when I started this, those videos and the group and everything, there was a part of me that wanted to have people around me that I, there's just this need that I developed because I was healing through childhood trauma at that time, and I was doing a lot of healing work. But I also realized that what I have right now in my society, what my realities at that moment is not giving me what I need. I was looking for something in other people and having problems with my boundaries because I was trying to get that thing I wanted through one person, instead of really realizing, okay, I need society as a whole, as a way of life, as in a life or group I live in, that I needed to create something on my own which would kind of fulfill those needs. So this was a very extreme case. I don't think that in most cases it has to be that extreme that you have to create your own subgroup in your life. I think there are a lot of things that we need that actually already exist. For example, if you want to fight for women's rights or for animal rights or for anything, something that you're really passionate about, or you're into politics or something, there's already so many things out there, and there are people who think like you, and it's just a matter of finding those people and then just changing your concentration of social life from one place to the other. But everything within the framework of, I want to be part of a society, I want to be part of the life that is happening here. And there are also other factors who play into this. For example, the moment I realized, well, I want to be part of society because the alternative is worse, because I cannot take, this is just, I need people around me, and even if those people don't completely understand me, I just want to have some kind of being accepted, being useful, and so on, and this is a human thing. Once I accepted that, I also accepted, well, okay, if I'm living within this framework, then there's certain rules that I have to adapt to. And rules that are holding our society together. You can look at it as society as the Western world, you can look at society as your country, you can look at society as your group of friends. But once you make that conscious choice, and it's always a question of if you're doing it conscious. If you're doing something consciously, then you have control over your life, and then you can decide how far am I willing to go. So let's say you decide, okay, you want to be part of the society. I decided, well, I want to be part of the city I live in. I want to be part of the country I live in because my family, my friends are here. I like my friends. I want them to be happy. And if I want to be part of the society, then there's certain rules this society goes by which hold people together. That's, a very negative thought in my opinion. This is not something I like, but that's the truth. And then I realized, okay, well, that is the reason why I actually want to be successful in, let's say, my job. My job is not something that was giving me everything, ever. I've really gotten into living my truth and exploring my life and enjoying it too much more once I started, having you guys and really talking with people who are like-minded with me, and I created my thought with, the way I think within this society. And that's a huge help and a difference than when you say, well, I have all those thoughts, but they're in my head, and then, there's nothing you can refer it to when it comes to another person. What I mean by this is, you need like a structure, and then you put your interpretation of that structure into it, and that helps other people, no matter who they are, understand much more of who you are. Not to the complete level, because nobody has the same perception with like you, but they know that, okay, this person in my society acts this way, so since I'm part of society and that person is part of society and that is who they are within this society, then I will treat them accordingly. And this has helped me extremely, because I realized, okay, I want to be part of society, but I want to be as independent as I can. And I also want to be successful, because the fact of achieving more and creating more, on the one hand, I like doing new things. And once I realized I'm not going to find my fulfillment at work, I wanted to do it because it is a way of also showing, well, look, I'm able to do this on my own. And I decided I'll take that job, which says a lot about what my interests are, what my strengths are. I am working with people who have the same strengths in me, like me, in certain areas. There are choices I'm making through that job, and the fact of I'm making a conscious choice to be part of society, and that also means I'm gonna follow some of those rules that I normally think, like, what is the meaning of it? Why should I go to work? Why should I go to work? It doesn't bring me anything. Yeah, it doesn't bring you anything if you're not part of society. If you're part of society, then there are a lot of benefits from having a job, or having having your own company, or creating just some kind of just a structure, or that you're helping to develop something, whatever it is that you like to do. And I think if you look at it from this perspective, a lot more things make sense. And then you can decide, okay, I want to be part of society, but so there's a framework. This has also to do with boundaries. There's a framework. There's something I'm finally committing to. Something I've done my whole life. I was scared to commit to anything. And the only thing now I committed is, okay, I want to be part of society, but I'll make it as little as I possibly can, where I don't have to compromise too much of who I am. And then I started creating things the way I wanted to. I started, decorating my fashion sense, the kind of jobs I chose, the fact how fast I accelerate at my job, for example, and not caring what other people around me think. Like, these are all things I do that show a lot of my personality within this society. So having a society really, really helps you to even have more people understand more of you. They'll never understand you completely, but they'll know more what you're about once you have a common structure, and something you can refer to. For example, having a language. Once we talk the same language, it's much easier for you to understand me. This is a common ground. And this is how, if we look at society, it really helps us to get a better grasp of why do we want to be part of it. Because actually, if you're watching this, if you're living in a house with, with 4 walls and you're paying taxes, you are part of society, and there's a conscious choice why you're doing this. Otherwise, you should just go and move away somewhere. Because I've met people who said, look, I don't want to be part of this. I hate this. I hate society. I hate how everything is going. But they don't make that switch. They don't go to South America or to Africa or to Thailand and just, live something else. And then they understand, okay, I need to change. I need to understand this is something that I'm stuck with. This is reality. I have to be part of it because this is where I'm born into, or this is where my family is, or this is where I will not want change. I make a choice. I don't want to go away from here. And I've seen that how other people make that transition and then really make the best out of it. And I've seen it in myself as well. Once there was this acceptance, then you can get used to the rules that are happening here, and then you can play by those rules in a way that you don't have to compromise who you are, but at the same time you make, you are part of it, that people understand who you are within it. Okay, so yeah, these are my thoughts on it. I really think this has helped me a lot, and I wanted to share it with you. So hope you like it, and talk to you soon. Bye.